The theater was alive with excitement as the audience waited for the next contestant. The bright stage lights shimmered like stars, and then, from behind the curtain, a small figure slowly walked forward. It was Grace, just 14 years old, her brown hair tucked neatly behind her ears, clutching the microphone like it was the only thing keeping her steady. The judges leaned in, curious. Simon, with his usual sharp gaze, asked gently, "What's your name, sweetheart?" Her voice wavered, but she answered, "My name is Grace, and I'm here to sing." There was a pause, then he asked, "Why this song?" Grace took a shaky breath, her eyes glistening. "Because it's not just a song. It's my prayer. I'm singing for the one who gave me strength when I had nothing left." The entire auditorium fell silent, as if the world itself had stopped to listen. The moment was fragile, filled with uncertainty. She was just a teenager, standing in front of thousands, but something about her calm bravery pierced through the noise. The crowd held its breath. Grace closed her eyes, took one more deep breath, and prepared to release the voice that had carried her through her darkest nights. Grace wasn't just another teenager with a dream, her life had been a series of silent battles. At home, the lights were often dim, and the fridge was sometimes empty. Her father had been ill for months, struggling with a condition that made even the simplest tasks exhausting. Her mother worked long hours, leaving Grace to take care of her younger brother while still managing school and her own burdens. Despite the hardships, Grace never complained. Instead, she found solace in music, especially in the gospel songs her grandmother used to sing to her as a child. Every night, she would sit by her father's bedside, softly singing hymns to comfort him, whispering prayers through tears she tried to hide. Music became her lifeline, a source of courage and hope when the world around her felt overwhelming. It wasn't about fame or applause, it was about survival, about holding on to faith and the light inside her heart. Even though she had faced loneliness, scarcity, and worry, Grace carried herself with a quiet strength. The audience at AGT couldn't see the sleepless nights or the tears she had shed in secret, but as she prepared to sing, every note she was about to deliver was infused with the weight of her struggles, and the unwavering hope that music could bring light to even the darkest moments. As the music began, Grace closed her eyes, letting the familiar melody wash over her. The microphone felt warm in her hands, and for a moment, the world outside the stage seemed to disappear. When she sang the first line of her gospel song, "My Light, My Emmanuel," her voice rang out, clear and pure, filling every corner of the theater. It wasn't just singing, it was a release of everything she had held inside. The nights of worry, the prayers whispered at her father's bedside, the hope that had kept her going through hardship. The audience sat mesmerized, drawn in by the sincerity and power behind her voice. Some held their breath, others covered their faces, tears spilling quietly. Even the judges, usually composed and critical, felt a jolt of emotion. Every note carried the essence of Grace's story, the struggles, the faith, and the strength that no one could see but everyone could feel. Her small frame seemed to vanish as the music carried her higher and higher. The emotion in her voice made the lyrics more than words, they became a shared experience, connecting her to every listener in the room. For those few minutes, Grace wasn't just performing, she was giving the audience a glimpse of hope, a reminder that light can shine even in the darkest moments. By the time Grace reached the chorus, the entire auditorium was completely captivated. Her voice soared with such clarity and emotion that it felt almost otherworldly. Every note seemed to carry a message of hope and resilience, touching hearts in a way words alone never could. People in the audience sat forward in their seats, some wiping tears, others whispering to those beside them, unable to believe a young girl could convey such profound feeling. The judges, usually reserved and analytical, were visibly moved. Simon's eyes shimmered with unshed tears, while another judge murmured, this is divine." Grace's hands trembled slightly as she poured her heart into the final verse, but the strength behind her voice grew, lifting the energy in the room to a crescendo. Then, in a moment that felt like destiny, the golden buzzer was slammed. Confetti rained down like golden rain, sparkling in the stage lights, enveloping Grace in a whirlwind of joy and disbelief. She dropped to her knees, covering her face as tears streamed freely. The judges rushed forward, embracing her, praising her courage and talent. The audience erupted into a standing ovation, not just celebrating a performance, but witnessing a young girl's unwavering spirit and the miraculous power of hope and faith expressed through music. After the confetti settled and the applause echoed through the theater, Grace stood trembling at center stage, her heart still racing. For a moment, she simply looked out at the audience, taking in the sea of smiling, tear-streaked faces. Then she raised the microphone and spoke, her voice steady despite the emotions swirling inside her. "If you ever feel like life has broken you, don't give up," she said softly but firmly. "Your light is still there. My Emmanuel gave me strength when I had nothing left, and he can do the same for you." The crowd erupted again, not just for her incredible talent, but for the courage, faith, and hope she embodied. Her words lingered, touching hearts in a way that transcended the stage. Social media would soon be flooded with clips of her performance, yet the real impact wasn't just the viral moment, it was the inspiration she gave to countless people facing struggles of their own. Grace's journey reminded everyone that even in the darkest times, hope can shine brightly through acts of faith, perseverance, and kindness. As she left the stage, smiling through tears, the audience knew they had witnessed more than a performance. They had witnessed a living testament to the power of courage, belief, and the human spirit. Grace's light had reached the world.